Alright guys, we are back today with my 1998 Honda CRV here. This is literally about a week and a half after I made the first video originally, and we're going to be selling it here. Something else popped up that I just had to have, and I'm going to make a little bit of money on this car and get something I think is considerably much cooler than this. Not to talk bad about this car, but just nonetheless I found something that I like a lot better. And I'm going to sell this one, and maybe we'll make a little profit on it. I think we will, considering what it looked like in, I guess you would say, part one of this. So I'm going to go over real fast what I have done to it in like the past week or so. It's just kind of been sitting otherwise, but it just was bought as primarily a house hauler beater, just to haul stuff that my sedan wouldn't. So it's just been used as pretty much as that. So I've put about maybe 300 miles on it since I had bought it originally. All in all, about 1 tank of gas. I do apologize for the wind if it does pick up. It's what it is, but I took pictures of it today. I got it all detailed up, and I'm going to sell it. So this will be kind of the time in the video I have to put of it together. So I'm trying to block the wind out here. This is a 1998 Honda CRV. This generation is the first generation. It came out in 97, so it's the second model year of the first generation. It's in Milano red, as they all get faded and kind of, you know, they never age the best, but I do believe they used this color up into the mid 2015s or whatever. So I think the compounds are definitely different in the paint, but nonetheless, it's, you know, it's faded red. But I did buff it out, and I used a single stage buff correction on it. I definitely need to put a top coat of wax on it, but like I said, I'm going to sell it, and even the way it is now, it turned out, I gotta say, worlds better. It's probably as good as it's ever going to get. As you can remember in the first video, everything was peeled on it. The paint was, I don't say peeled, but it was really faded, and some of the components I would say were peeled. This was kind of bad, so I painted this front grille all black. I think it looks pretty good. And I painted the mirrors right there. Those were also red. They were pretty peely. So I painted those black, and obviously it does tie in together with like the contrasting. I think it looks a lot better. All things considering, you know, what we started with. The bumper I did mention was kind of pushed in on the first video, and I did pull it out a little bit, and it looks a little more uniform now. It's not like as pushed in, so it does look pretty good. Headlights, I did a little buff on those as well. They are original Honda lights, and they're not really that faded, so that's pretty impressive. I also did the wiper arms. I bought a $4 can of paint. A $4 can of paint did these two mirrors, this front grille, and these wiper arms. I put new wipers on it as well, but you know, such an easy thing to do, and it just dramatically improved the car. I gotta say, just stepping back and looking at it, it does look 10 times better on camera, I do have to say, but try to get out of the wind here, but it does look a lot better considering where we started at, guys. So it does have your typical Honda rust, as you're going to expect for something this age in this climate. It does have pretty much brand new Michelin tires on it, so those are really nice. That's going to be a nice bonus for somebody who gets it. It's a nice selling point, I guess. So the alloys turned out pretty good. I would suggest these are probably needing replaced. So yeah, other than the rust, if you're okay with that, you got a nice solid little car. It's going to need a few things here and there, but nothing that you can't fix. All things considering, guys, this is a sub $2,000 car. It's not going to be perfect, and I kind of had to remind myself that with this thing, but you do have a four-wheel drive, or the real-time four-wheel drive. This tire is flat, so I don't know what good that's going to do you, but I never put air in it. But yeah, so there's that. There's the underbody. You get a good little look there. So it needs a rear sway bar as well, so that kind of rattles when you drive. I should probably just rip that off, but I'm gonna leave it for the next person. And here's the back side of it. I mean, I'm very impressed with the way this thing came out. Looking at the roof, at some point this car acquired some hail damage, so after I buffed it, it really was more prominent. But you know, whatever, I'll take a buffed, hail damaged car over a faded car any day. Does have pinstripes. They are kind of intact most of the way, and then this one, kind of the top half just kind of fell off, but it's okay, guys. It's 23, so it's not perfect. So we'll come and start it up. The antenna, I kind of reformed it. It was a lot more flat, so I was able to kind of stick it up like that to kind of where it would look like if it were new. Maybe that's a little too high, but you get the point. So I also took it to Honda last week and had them replace the airbag inflator. There was a recall on this, and you know, you don't want to eat metal fragments if you get into a crash with your worn out struts and brakes CRV. I mean, the chances of that happening are a little probably higher than say a newer car. So I'll pull the key out here and we'll look at the interior. It's pretty much the same from the first video. So there it is. It cleaned up real good. Honda interiors really do hold up good if you take care of them, and I'd say there's probably no exception with this one. The window doesn't work. The driver window doesn't work. Just little things that this car is, you know, a beater. So radio code, I still haven't gotten that off, so I haven't had the radio yet, but I haven't really driven it a whole lot. This is the mileage, the final mileage for this one. The shift interlock gets messed up sometimes, so in order to kind of get it out of shift on some mornings, only sometimes it does it, it will lock up. So I just put like, I cut like a little flap right here, and you just need to stick your finger on the shift interlock right there, and then it will release. So again, beater status, so something I would don't really care too much about, but it does start right up. Obviously, give it a little rev here. So no red line, that's awesome. So we'll give it the door shut here, and I'm gonna say it's aged really good. I said this in the last video, but you know, this car really is built quite good. Everything's kind of hard and stuff, but I gotta say the materials that they did use, they aged good, and the dyes and all that stuff. So headliner, this is more of a not really a material, but there's no reason why this would sag. You have a dome light up there, and there's your driver or your passenger seat. You have a little some storage right here, and your back seats. This door doesn't open, so again, no big deal. You have a vanity light as well, or vanity mirror. You have a light, which if you look at these, they kind of point down at you. So if you're, you know, looking at yourself in the mirror, I guess you can kind of see that. But yeah, we did an oil change on it, and this clock kind of goes in and out, and this radio still has error. So someone's gonna have to get the code off of that and do what they want if they want music. It's a big ordeal to remove this thing, so I just, you know, left it at that. AC does blow ice cold, which is cool. Heat works great. Heat works really good, actually. So I know Hondas are kind of famous for their heat, and this is okay. You got to get a really good grip to pull that out, but we'll pop that. This is really responsive though. So there's that. Door locks. I don't think the door locks work either. I locked this by accident, and I almost like it got jammed. So we don't lock this car. Back here you can see the red is very nice and fresh. So I just have the floor mat down there, which, you know, it's in good shape for what it is. It could be a lot worse, and at that point I probably wouldn't have bought it. But you have this armrest right here, which is kind of hard, you know. A lot of cars, compact SUVs, didn't have this type of stuff. So like the flat floor and all that. I mean, it's a really cool car. I think it aged good. You have the glass right here that does lift up, and you open the gate. Again, I did polish it out the best that I could, and it came out cool. So that strut's just gone. So but looking back here, no table sadly, but I could give a flying F about a table. I mean, everybody talks about the Honda table. I don't care about the Honda table. When am I going to use a table out of my car? So looking at the strut here, you'll just see it go. There's no give, but you know, these ones do work, the ones that matter. This door doesn't appear to work. Passenger side, just have all the manuals and good stuff there. It's well documented. So the previous owner, I mean, in the last 2 years, she probably put at least $3 grand into this thing in maintenance. Also, a lot of the main components are replaced on it. So with that, guys, we'll check the hood real fast and we'll wrap it up. See, those bumpers are really soaking in that plastic trim restorer. There it is, little B20. This is just falling apart in my hand, this hood, all the rust. But looking at it, it's ticking away. I'll see why it's not going to tick away for another 100,000 if it doesn't fall apart with rust. So, but yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. I kind of wanted to keep it a little bit longer, but the replacement is yet to come, and I'll have a video of that at some point soon. So, as usual, guys, thank you for watching, and we'll talk to y'all later.